One of the odd things about doing a blog is that sometimes you can kind of stop because you get some information that makes you think and stand back a little bit. And I guess about a week ago I got something like that. I had a chat with one of the nurses at the hospital who looks after radiotherapy. And her name was Amanda. She was really nice to talk to on the phone, and she took the trouble to ring me one evening just after 6 o'clock. And we had a 40-minute chat. And she told me lots of stuff. And I think that kind of gave me a lot of food for thought. One of the things that kind of stopped me in my tracks was the timescale on this thing, because although people have said to me before, well, it's not life-threatening, you kind of get the feeling that it's cancer, it's that word, and it's kind of going to come and get you. And so you think, my goodness, what should I do? But in fact, the timescale is quite long. I said to her, what would happen if I did nothing at all, if I absolutely ignored it? I know it won't go away, but if I ignored it. And she said, well, you might have 5 years or maybe more before you got any real effects. On the other hand, you might have less, you can't tell before you get any real effects, and things start to become more dangerous. I mean, at the initial stage, it's not life-threatening, but of course if you let it develop, then it can become life-threatening. And that really kind of threw a different light on things. I think it kind of takes the pressure off. I know what's happening this week is that I think this coming week Charlotte is going to talk to the surgeons at Norwich and see if they want to see me to talk to me about the prospects for having the prostate completely removed. But I'm not enthused by that because I think it kind of changes your life too much. I also had an interesting conversation with one of the guys downstairs in the flats where we live. Really nice man. He must be 80 odd. And I mentioned to him about this disease. Because I don't mind talking about it. I don't have a big issue with it. And he, it turns out, had his prostate removed 15 years ago. And I said to him, what's the story? How do you feel about it? And he said, well, looking back on it, he said, I wouldn't have done it. If the kind of radiotherapy treatment that was available now had been available then, he wouldn't have done it. He would have had radiotherapy, not had the prostate removed. I didn't go too far down the line of why not. Because I didn't really feel as if I wanted to. And at some point maybe we might go further down that line, but I thought that was a really interesting thing for someone to say, and yet more food for thought, I suppose.